thanks for staying with us. Heroes for Life, an NGO founded in 2013 by 3 officers of the Israel Defense Forces, has been leveraging a great Israeli resource, former Israeli soldiers who are traveling the world to conduct humanitarian operations in developing countries. With me in studio now is Gili Cohen, the Chief Executive Officer, and Gilad Filkstein, a volunteer. Did I say it right?
Filkstein.
Filkstein, yes. Yeah. So we're off to a good start. Gili, I want to begin with you. Tell me first how this idea came about.
So 6 years ago, my wife Rachel and I went on our big trip to the East, and we were exposed to the unbelievable amount of Israelis that going every year to travel in the Far East, South America. And I thought to myself, amazing if each and every one of them will dedicate a period of 2 weeks to volunteer as part of his big trip.
So what kind of volunteering actions do we normally see?
So actually we have 2 kinds of work. The first one is the renovation project. We choose some orphanage or some school and we come to renovate, to clean, to paint the school. And the second part of the work is the educational part. And we actually come to teach the kids basic math, basic English, personal hygiene lessons and such kind of things.
This sounds like something that could not only change the lives of the people receiving this aid, but also the people giving it. Gilad, do you remember something specific that where you volunteered that really impacted you?
What really impacted me is seeing the difference in the children, where you have so many different children that are so different and each one thinks differently, and you have the ones that are more artistic and the ones that are like more math and different classes, and sometimes just kids get left behind. And a lot of times what we could do is help teachers, help these students who get a bit left behind catch up, even if it's just a little bit. But we could help doing that in more of a fun way instead of with playing with them games that are more educational. And less just teaching them like a teacher would.
I imagine that sometimes language would be a barrier depending where in the world you're volunteering. How do you get over that?
In every, there are translators in every place that we fly to, and also I was in Peru. Each group had a Spanish speaker inside of it, an Israeli Spanish speaker who's also a volunteer, who they help. And I could say, do something in English and she will translate me. Or opposite, and we also learn a lot of Spanish. I learned a lot of Spanish before teaching math. I can now teach math and Spanish very easily for 4th graders. But
so the people volunteering there also help each other out in understanding
yes.
the situation. Gili, how do you go about recruiting, quote unquote, more volunteers for this project?
So actually it's amazing. We have our Facebook page. There is more than 30,000 Israelis in our page that for example, when we open new delegation, we call the people to sign up, to register it to our new delegation. It's amazing to see that for every delegation we have more than 400 people that want to take part in every delegation that we open. And actually now we are running 15 humanitarian delegations annually to 15 different countries all around the world in 4 different continents.
So is it just Israeli soldiers, former soldiers, or who have just recently been discharged from the army, or Israelis generally?
Actually, most of the volunteers are released soldiers. There is 40,000 Israelis, ex-soldiers that come to make their big trip in the Far East in South America every year. And we call them, if you are already here, to do something, come to dedicate a period of 2 weeks to help to the local communities in need, and at the same time to show the world the real face of Israel.
Gilad, if someone is watching us and considering this, what can you say to them that maybe will help sway them and change their mind?
It was an amazing experience where I felt like we helped out these children in ways that I can't even explain in words. These kids were so happy to see us, to have people showing them love, to see that people care. It's amazing to give back to all these countries that we go visit all the time, where you have all these soldiers that got out of the army and they fly to all these places, and we travel and to give back. We're traveling, we're seeing where they live, but this is the way that we could give back to them and help them. Even if it's one little small period of 2 weeks, it does all the impact.
Well, I have to say that in this period where all eyes are on Israel internationally, it's nice to know that we have you as ambassadors to in the world there, carrying out Israel's names in a positive way. Gili Cohen and Gilad Filkstein, thank you very much for joining me for this, and thank you for the work you do.
Thank you.